Irene Khor, and with me here is Sylvia Muiznieks. We are BodyTalk and Mindscape instructors. I'm based in Singapore and Sylvia is based in Calgary, Canada.
We both teach locally in our respective areas, and we both also travel internationally, teaching people how to do body talk and also about the Mindscape system, how to use the mind in a more powerful way. The body talk came across my desk, and I got very interested in the philosophy. The philosophy being that the practitioner or therapist doesn't have to know what's wrong with the body, that the client's body actually knows what is wrong and what's required to get back onto the path of health. And I thought that was brilliant. So also being a massage therapist, it was almost like a switch around. Instead of me having to figure out what needs to be done for the client's body was going to tell me what was required.
So it makes things easier in a way.
It does. It makes it easier in a way, and there's no need to actually have to come up with a diagnosis.
Right. You don't have to figure out what's wrong with the person.
That's right.
So what we basically do is listen to the client's symptoms or complaints, and then the body then after that tell us
what needs to happen.
Yeah.
And for that we have this chart. And the chart has concepts from both Western and Oriental, and actually other areas where they look at the body from different perspectives.
Right.
And what's brilliant about this is that we can learn it as a standalone type of system, but it is actually an open system because at the very bottom of our chart we have a bubble called Other Modalities.
This one
the
is like the magic, isn't it?
It is, because it means that if the person requires the help from another practitioner and we're not trained or it's not on our chart, then we can refer out to other modalities, and that would include allopathic or any of the alternative or complementary modalities. And the thing is that if you're trained in another modality, that's another way that your expertise in that modality can also be drawn upon by the client's body.
That's interesting.
Isn't that
so
great?
It's almost like 2 in 1. It saves you time to try to figure out what the client needs, isn't
Exactly.
it?
Tell you, yes, I need this, or no, I need this, or I need this, and then it gets exactly what it wants.
Right.
And what it needs.
That's interesting. And then you may have heard that Sylvia's background is in back then you were a massage therapist. It sounds like, yeah, she knows a little bit about healthcare. And what we're saying is like, no, you don't have to know anything about healthcare to do body talk, because I don't have a background of any healthcare modality. I'm actually an accountant by training. But what's beautiful about body talk, that's why we call it a body talk system, and it's the system that guides the practitioner to find what's going on in the client's body. So that's makes it really, really brilliant.
People might wonder, how does body talk even work? So, from your background as an accountant and working with computers, I know you have an interesting way of explaining this.
Yeah, I'm like the left brain explanation part of body talk, which makes things a little interesting. Sometimes for certain people, I use an analogy of a computer. So, for example, those of us who use smartphones, we need to constantly update our smartphones. In fact, after a while, if you don't update, you basically can't use it. So it's very similar with the human body. We don't get updates with this human body. If something goes wrong, we either, it's not a very nice way, we either fix it or get rid of some parts of the body. But what we aim to do with body talk is optimize our way of how we operate. Because in the absence of that, and we will get very stressed. Like it's almost like we're operating out of a, let's say, a 5-year-old program. And if a 5-year-old doesn't get a candy, he or she will get very stressed. Like, you'll do whatever it takes to get that candy. But as we grow up, we still operate under that software. If we don't get something from our spouse or from our employer, we go into interesting behaviors. So wouldn't it be nice that we could press a button and do an upgrade from a 5-year-old to like a 30 years old? So that's an analogy with BodyTalk.
Exactly.
Like what we want to do is find out what are the areas that the body needs to do updates.
And to continue with the computer analogy, computers are based on the on-off concept. Yes, that's
right.
called
The binary system.
She's the one who's the computer expert, not me. So yeah, we have the binary system. It's on or off, and actually the body works exactly the same way. Either something is switched on or it's switched off, and we can use that to our advantage to actually get some information from the body, because the body can be trained to show us what on is and what off is. And we call that the yeses and the nos.